The shadow cast by heinous crimes extends beyond the perpetrator, affecting those who are closest to them. Ted Bundy, the notorious serial killer who instilled fear across America by claiming the lives of over 30 women, was executed many years ago. However, his narrative does not conclude there, as numerous enigmas remain unresolved. A primary mystery is the whereabouts of Bundy's only daughter, Rose Bundy. Many speculate that she has adopted a new identity and withdrawn from public scrutiny in pursuit of a tranquil existence. But is this the complete truth? Join us as we explore the secrets surrounding Ted Bundy's daughter, a figure shrouded in intrigue. Before we delve into this story, please subscribe to our channel to receive notifications for new videos. Ted Bundy is recognized as one of the most notorious and chilling serial killers in American history. He confessed to murdering at least 30 women over a brief span from 1974 to 1978, however, the actual figure is thought to be significantly higher, potentially reaching into the hundreds, as many victims remain unlisted. Notably, the term serial killer did not even exist until Bundy's name became synonymous with terror. With his striking Hollywood-like appearance, remarkable intelligence, and impressive educational credentials, Bundy easily earned the trust of women. Yet, beneath the charming facade lay a ruthless and malevolent force, so cold-hearted that he himself claimed to be the most cold-blooded killer in existence. Ted Bundy was executed by electric chair in 1989 at the age of 42. However, the label of serial killer was not the only one associated with him. He was also regarded as a devoted father. Bundy exhibited two starkly contrasting facets of his personality, one as a ruthless murderer and the other as a family man. Throughout his life, he had one daughter with his wife, Carolyn Boone. Despite the extensive information that has emerged about Bundy's troubled upbringing and various romantic entanglements, details regarding his biological daughter remain largely undisclosed. While many women connected to Bundy have openly participated in media interviews, one significant figure has remained elusive: his biological daughter, Rose Bundy, also known as Rosa. To begin with, it is important to examine the romantic relationship between Bundy and his official wife, Carolyn Boone. He learned the principles of fatherhood while assisting his girlfriend, Elizabeth Klopfer, in caring for her daughter, Molly. Perhaps his greatest regret was his inability to witness his own daughter's growth and development. Even the most malevolent individuals can possess a certain charm, and Ted Bundy exemplifies this notion. He was not only endowed with striking looks but also possessed a remarkable ability to manipulate and influence those around him, particularly women. Numerous young women, drawn to his charismatic appearance and self-assured demeanor, would often congregate outside the courtroom during his trials. The personal life of Ted Bundy, particularly his romantic relationships, captivated the media's attention. Among the women closely associated with Bundy, Carolyn Boone distinguished herself as his official wife. Prior to his marriage to Boone, Bundy had a fervent relationship with Elizabeth Klopfer, also known as Liz Kendall, who was raising her daughter, Molly. The documentary Falling for a Killer explored the intricate dynamics between Bundy and these two women, one being his former lover and the other his wife. A notable similarity between both women was their status as single mothers, which may have drawn Bundy to them. While Elizabeth was nurturing her young daughter, Boone had a son named James from a previous marriage. It is worth mentioning that by the time Bundy faced trial in Florida, James was already an adult and appeared in documentary footage to defend his mother against media criticism. Carolyn Boone first encountered Ted Bundy in 1974 while they both worked at the Washington State Emergency Services Center in Seattle. Ironically, during this period, Bundy was involved in efforts to locate the very women he had murdered. Boone, on the other hand, was navigating a challenging phase in her life, having recently divorced for the second time and raising her son James alone, while also being trapped in an unhappy relationship with a large, gruff man. The arrival of Ted, a charming, educated, and composed individual, quickly became a beacon of hope in Boone's otherwise bleak existence. In a book recounting the true story of Ted Bundy, Boone noted that she felt an immediate attraction to him from their first encounter, perceiving him as a seemingly shy man. Ted possessed a profoundly intriguing inner world that extended far beyond his outward demeanor. He appeared quite serious, exhibiting a level of restraint that surpassed many of his colleagues in the office. Nevertheless, he was capable of engaging in light-hearted humor. Boone acknowledged that these initial impressions facilitated the rapid development of their relationship, ultimately leading them to become lovers. Even during Bundy's arrest and subsequent trial in Florida for the murders of 2 female students from Florida State University, Boone maintained her belief in his innocence. Her affection for him did not diminish, rather, it intensified in the face of adversity. Caroline Boone remained steadfastly by Ted Bundy's side throughout the trials, motivated not only by her unwavering conviction in his innocence but also by cherished memories of his kindness and care during their courtship. Despite facing rumors and opposition from various quarters, Boone made the significant decision to leave her stable life in Washington to relocate to Florida, enabling her to visit Ted frequently in prison. The bond between Ted and Boone deepened, rivaling the affection he had once shared with Elizabeth Clower. In 1979, Boone testified in court, describing Ted as a kind and well-mannered individual. This was also the period when Ted intended to propose to her, as Florida state law permitted couples to declare their marriage in court in the presence of a judge. As a shrewd former law student, Ted skillfully leveraged this opportunity, not only to win favor with the jury but also to formalize his relationship with Boone. In his court proposal, he emphasized that it was not a mere tactic or scheme, but rather a genuine expression of love. This represents our sole opportunity to be together in the same space and express the most significant sentiments. This is for me and her, Ted asserted confidently. Due to Ted's declaration, Boone placed her complete trust in him and offered her unwavering support, even as the evidence against him continued to accumulate. On February 14, 1981, Valentine's Day, Ted Bundy officially wed Boone during a public trial. "Carol, do you wish to marry?" "Yes, I want to marry." "Yes, I do," she affirmed. This extraordinary event was chronicled by the esteemed crime author and Rule, who had previously been an acquaintance of Ted. In her book, The Stranger Beside Me, Rule detailed the unusual love story between Bundy and Boone, while simultaneously unveiling a hidden aspect of the charismatic serial killer. Despite maintaining his relationship with Boone, Ted continued to communicate with his former girlfriend, Elizabeth, successfully managing both relationships from prison. However, Elizabeth ultimately chose to part ways with him, while Boone remained deeply devoted. This trial not only signified a pivotal moment in Ted Bundy's personal journey but also culminated in his death sentence. Nevertheless, Boone held firmly to her conviction of his innocence and consistently visited him in prison. The unconventional wedding held in the Florida courtroom not only stood out in Ted Bundy's narrative but also became one of the most notable occurrences in American legal history. While Ted was incarcerated, Boone became pregnant with his child, which is particularly remarkable given that she conceived while he was on death row, where conjugal visits were strictly forbidden. When news of Boone's pregnancy emerged, it captured significant attention. The announcement of Boone's pregnancy sparked a wave of speculation and skepticism, with many questioning the authenticity of her claim regarding Ted Bundy's child. In a 1981 interview with the Desert News, Boone acknowledged that the public's interest was not in her pregnancy itself, but rather in the circumstances surrounding it. One particularly outlandish theory suggested that Boone had somehow smuggled an empty condom to Bundy through a kiss, allowing him to fill it with his sperm and return it to her for conception. This theory, while sensational, was dismissed by Bundy's close friend and Rule, who argued that Bundy and Boone likely did not resort to such extreme measures. Instead, she posited that they may have bribed prison guards for private time together in secluded areas of the prison, a practice not uncommon among inmates in the United States. This explanation is supported by Boone's own revelations in the documentary Conversations with a Killer, the Ted Bundy tapes, where she recounted that after their initial encounter, the guards became indifferent to their activities. In fact, they were caught being intimate on several occasions but chose to overlook it. On October 24, 1982, Boone gave birth to a daughter named Rose Bundy, who is Ted's only biological child. Despite the widespread condemnation of Bundy as a murderer, Boone remained unwavering in her belief in her husband's innocence. Trust in Ted remained unshaken even after she gave birth to their daughter. In fact, prior to Ted's capture, Boone was reportedly involved in efforts to facilitate his escape from a Colorado prison in 1977, before he fled to Florida. At that time, many believed in Ted's innocence and felt he was a victim of a grave injustice, arguing that there was insufficient evidence against him in any of the cases, which only fueled doubts regarding his alleged crimes. In this environment, Carolyn Boone found herself among individuals who shared her conviction that Ted Bundy was innocent. As is often the case in love, it is easy to embrace beliefs that align with one's feelings, regardless of the harshness of reality. Boone remained devoted to Ted, frequently bringing their young daughter, Rose, to visit him in prison as a testament to her faith in his innocence. She consistently asserted that Ted Bundy was wrongfully accused and had no part in any of the crimes. However, by 1986, as Bundy's execution date loomed, prosecutors offered him the opportunity to disclose the locations of the missing victims' bodies in exchange for a postponement of his execution. Ted confessed to his crimes, and in that moment, Boone's entire foundation of trust collapsed. The man she loved and believed in was revealed to be one of history's most notorious serial killers. Boone felt profoundly betrayed, as if the trust she had placed in Bundy had been ruthlessly destroyed. She descended into despair upon learning of her husband's chilling confessions, and her friends acknowledged that it was a devastating shock for her when Bundy requested to see their daughter, Rose. Boone categorically rejected Ted's attempts to maintain contact. Ted was unable to bid farewell to his daughter prior to his execution, and the timeline of Boone's affection for him remains ambiguous. It is possible that her trust was irrevocably shattered when he confessed to his numerous crimes. In 1986, she made the decision to divorce the notorious serial killer and sever all connections with him. Following this, Boone relocated with her children, Rose and James, to the Seattle area in search of a fresh start and to evade public scrutiny. Additionally, there were speculations that in his final months, Ted had initiated a romantic involvement with Diana Weir, one of his defense attorneys. According to People magazine, Carolyn Boone did not visit Ted Bundy during the last 2 years of his life leading up to his execution in 1989. On the day he faced death, he attempted to reach Boone by phone, but she did not respond, effectively marking the conclusion of their relationship, which had once drawn significant public attention. Many believe that Ted wished to see Boone and his daughter one last time before his execution, yet this desire remained unfulfilled. At that time, 6-year-old Rose did not have the opportunity to see her father again, resulting in a lingering sense of regret and sorrow for the cold-blooded killer until his demise, as he never had the chance to meet his daughter. The life of Carolyn Boone after her divorce from Bundy continues to be shrouded in mystery. She and her daughter Rose largely stayed out of the public eye, reportedly changing their names to avoid unwanted attention. Rose Bundy is thought to have been renamed Rosa Johnson, and her life has remained undisclosed to the media. Author and Rule once remarked that she had encountered Rosa and confirmed that she matured into an intelligent, kind, and independent individual. Although the documentary Falling for a Killer presented some old family photographs of Rose Bundy and her mother, Rosa's face was consistently obscured to protect her privacy. This remains the only publicly available image of Rose Bundy. In the photograph, she is seen smiling brightly while being held by her parents. Ted has his arm around his wife and displays a joyful expression as he poses with his young daughter. Their meeting occurred in prison, yet it did not seem to diminish their sense of happiness, particularly for Boone. The silence maintained by Boone and Rosa Johnson is understandable, as both mother and daughter have sought to distance themselves from media scrutiny. There is scant information regarding their lives or current locations, which only deepens the intrigue surrounding them. Speculation abounds regarding Rosa's upbringing and her ability to navigate the challenges of being the child of a notorious serial killer. And Rule acknowledged that she intentionally refrained from disclosing any specifics about Bundy's ex-wife and daughter, emphasizing their right to privacy. "All I know is that Ted's daughter grew up to be a kind and intelligent young woman," Rule stated in her book. This revelation has only intensified curiosity about what Rose Bundy's adult life may entail. Based on the childhood photograph with her parents, many believe she has likely blossomed into a remarkably beautiful woman. Boone's choice to eschew media appearances or documentaries discussing her life further underscores her desire for privacy. The conclusion of Ted's story has led to a significant interest in the lives of his family, particularly that of Carolyn Boone, who passed away in 2018 in Washington state at the age of 70. Throughout her life, she refrained from making any media appearances, and the news of her passing was only shared by those in her inner circle. Rosa, now 42 years old, has similarly chosen to remain out of the public eye, never discussing her experiences or emotions related to her upbringing. The ongoing question of Rose Bundy's current whereabouts continues to intrigue the public, with forums such as Life on Death Row filled with various theories and speculations regarding the life of the daughter of a serial killer. Some believe that Carolyn Boone adopted the name Abigail Griffin and relocated to Oklahoma, where she remarried and established a tranquil and fulfilling life following her tumultuous relationship with Ted Bundy. Boone appeared to take extensive measures to shield her daughter from the repercussions of her father's heinous actions, including relocating, changing identities, and severing connections with her dark past. The scant information available about Ted Bundy's wife and daughter only serves to heighten the drama surrounding one of America's most infamous serial killers. While Rose Bundy's current situation remains unknown, the enigma surrounding her life continues to amplify the legend of Ted Bundy. This narrative has been meticulously researched and compiled from a variety of documentaries, books, and credible publications to offer a thorough and accurate account of the case.